Immigration did a raid. I was living in Kansas at the time, and I was working at a parish, and immigration did a terrible raid of 6 meatpacking plants in 6 different states on December 12th, 2006. That's the most important feast day of Mexican people. It's the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's the day that we celebrate. And I was saying Mass that day, and all of a sudden, I could just recognize people were getting phone calls, messages from people around, from their family members who were in other communities of meatpacking plants. So some of the folks in our meatpacking plant, Liberal, had family members in Greeley, Colorado, and in Dumas, Texas. And so here they were getting the calls that their family members had been picked up for immigration. The raid picked up 1,500 people, and 200 to 300 children in each community had lost contact with their parents. And the good thing was the churches did a job of, in all those places, of responding to, with schools, and the churches did phenomenal jobs in every one of those towns, including some of the local police departments who refused to participate in the raid, like Grand Island, Nebraska. But the Dumas was about 50 miles from us, and so 2 days after the raid, I went down there to take food and blankets and things like that to help the pastor out with caring for some of the kids. You know, they got some of the kids into homes. So they had 80 kids in the school living in the school gym, boarded up there. So we took food and stuff down there, and I got to hold a child. The husband had been in the plant, called his wife, told her that, go to my sister's house. ICE is here. I don't know what they're going to do with me. He says, if I get taken into custody, know that I love you. And that's what he said. Well, she was pregnant, almost 9 months pregnant. In running out of the house to her sister's house, she fell, went into labor, gave birth to the child, and in the process, she went into a coma in the hospital. The sister was there present with this little baby, had gotten the baby, and gave me the baby in my hands. And I'm holding a little infant, 2 days old. And, her father has, they deported some of those people right away. Her father was deported to Guatemala. The mother's in a coma, and she's from Mexico. And she's in the hospital. What's going to happen to this little baby? I told that to our parish the following Sunday, and I was crying on the altar. I had 8 people write notes. 4 were sort of like in sympathy, and 4 were saying, all you care about is those illegals. You don't belong here. And after a couple of months, it was determined from my superiors, maybe you ought to go take a sabbatical. And that's when I took my sabbatical down to Mexico. I went 6 weeks traveling Mexico and 3 months picking cherries in California and Oregon, and ended up getting to walk that way with the people. So that's when I really got intensely involved with the farm workers, because I got to